All right, before I get into this, I do want to tell you that I don't have the teeth of a rat. And I talked about banging out, banging, whatever the case is, but these are vampire teeth. Please don't call me a rat. I got like actual vampire teeth. Do not mistaken it, and do not think you're gonna play a joke with me or you're my friend. Or you're friendly with me and you're a girl and you should be allowed to make fun of my teeth and say that I have rat teeth or whatever. I'm not that dude to do that with. And I don't care if you don't like it, and I don't care if you feel a little bit taken aback. That's exactly what I want. I want you to be taken aback a bit. But anyways, because the thing is, I get thumbnails on my phone before I post it on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I get that thumbnail, and even if on YouTube they put a different thumbnail, I get a shitty fucking thumbnail every fucking time. Anyways, the point is, let me get into this video. So I'm gonna talk more about this dead time thing, and I'll tell you why. So it kind of starts with, and I told you that very time when I was in Colombia and I was flying from Colombia to Panama, right? And this is after the body scan. The body scan is basically just a thing that you walk through, and it scans everything inside your body to make sure you're not really bringing anything like whatever. But it's a big thing like that. You just walk through it basically, and the body scan happens, and they can see if there's anything. So, but I'll tell you the moment that I really remember. And this moment I really remember. I mean, I remember the lady when she was like the customs lady or whatever, like before I was getting into the terminal to depart and everything. I remember what she said. She asked me, she said, what do you do? And I said, I work for a hotel. And she said, you working, having a job? And she said it kind of sarcastically. Now I'm not gonna get into it and go, oh, this is beef. Why'd you say, I'm not getting it from that angle. But the thing was that she associated me, obviously with bad people, saying that I was a bad person. But she didn't say it to me like, you're a bad person. What she said to me was like, stereotypically, like, you're definitely a bad guy and you definitely make money illegally. You know what I mean? That's what it means. Like, you don't have a job. So you're like all these guys that make money illegally, or whatever. Now, I obviously, I didn't say much. I mean, I told her that I have a job at a hotel. That was it. I actually did have a job at a hotel. So I was like, okay, so I went through and, I did my thing and whatnot. But, that's when it first hit me. You know what I mean? And the thing is that, like, people didn't already know me in Colombia. It's not like I was traveling back and forth from Colombia all the time. That was my first trip to Colombia. And I spent like a month and a half, or maybe, around there. I spent like a month and a half in Colombia. Okay, and that was my first time going there. But prior to that, I had been to Dominican. In the last few months, I had been to Dominican, and before Dominican, I had been to Cuba. All right, so now when I got back to the city, when I got back to Toronto, the thing was that a lot of people had known me in that area. Okay, they knew me, but they didn't know me, and allow me to elaborate on that. When I tell you that, when I was younger, it was like I had Buffalo, New York vibes, right? And I'm not going to get into that. I have a video that talks all about it. When I said I have Buffalo, New York vibes, like I really had it, So, there's a lot of people, like I was never really a local. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't have like any kind of local friends or local networking or anything like that. You know what I mean? And it was really like that. It was like guys would say, I feel like I'm his bitch when I hang out with him, and I don't want to hang out with him because he treats me like I'm his bitch. And some guys like being treated like that. As weird as it sounds, some guys like being treated like that, so they would want to talk to me like that. You know what I mean? But really, it was like I was never a local. There was no trace of me when people were talking to each other. It just wasn't like I was a local. And even when people would talk about me, the funny thing is there were more people talking about me in Buffalo, New York than in Toronto. That's the crazy thing. There were way more people in Buffalo, New York who were like, this guy exists, and not in Toronto. And not in New York City either. New York City was like later on when I got those New York City vibes, which is what I'm gonna get into right now. So me coming back to an area where people had incurred or had seen me, or like as an acquaintance, people had seen who I was, but there was nobody fucking with me. There was nobody saying that I'm his friend, I hang out with him, I do this, I do that. You know what I mean? There was nothing like that. A lot of guys had distanced themselves from me and they didn't want to talk about me directly. And a lot of the old people that had heard of me were like, we don't want to say his name. I'm serious. They're like, we don't want to say his name and talk about him, but we don't want him to be so cool or so amazing to other people, because that's kind of disrespectful to us. You know what I mean? So if whatever they're saying about him, we're going to take somebody from us and say that he's a better version, and we're going to put him on over this guy. We're not going to put this guy on. We're not going to put this guy on. We're going to put on a guy from our own group, and we're going to put him on, and he's going to be the guy. You know what I mean? That was kind of the situation. Now, when I came back, what happened was, and I told you, I had this experience at that airport before I was coming back. And, when I got back, to Toronto, and when I got in that taxi, I came back and all that stuff. And, it was like, so let me get into a bit prior to the Colombia trip. Now I told you that I was very much trying to control my conscious mind. Like I was like, dude, I gotta discipline myself because I'd never been able to do it. But everything told me, and everybody around me in my environment said that you have to be able to hold a job down. You have to move up in the job. You have to get some kind of education. You have to have a good job or whatnot. So I was like, okay, let's leave that whole kitchen stuff. And, I'm reading these self-development books. Like some of them are big books. Like I read Tony Robbins and all these crazy huge books and listened to tapes over and over again. And I was really trying to do it. And I gave up on it. When I started a new strategy, I gave up on the old, right? And I've told you that that's happened as well with me in my life many times. So, like I told you, like I just changed my strategy. I said, dude, forget all this self-development stuff. Go with the flow. Go out there, have a good time. I had a full-time job also, so I was very busy. I had a gym membership. I was going to the arcade all the time. I had a membership at the arcade, so I could play it all the time. I was going to bars all the time, at nightclubs. I was working full time. I was taking trips and stuff. So I said, just let the animal take over. That's literally what I told myself. I said, just let the inner beast, let the inner animal take over and be what he wants to be, versus controlling him, guiding him, telling him to do this, telling him to do that, going against every instinct, every natural instinct in order to be more accepted in society for a very, very shitty price. You know what I mean? $100,000 a year is a shitty price to me, for that kind of life. I don't want to do that life and get, even if like after 20 years I'm getting $100,000, like I don't want to do that. So, or even after 2 years, whatever the case is, but the thing is I don't want to do that. So I went with this natural instinctual thing, you know what I mean? And I tried, and I was liking it. I was like, dude, just live, man. That's it. Just to live. And I think that's when that old Latin in me started coming out. Just live, man. Stop all this. Let me read this and be exactly like that. Let me get a degree so I can be exactly like all these people that have the degree, and we can all be the exact same, and all that. I was like, let's move away from that. And that's what got me going and taking trips and go to different places and all that stuff. But every time I would come back from a trip, I'd be a little bit more changed. You know what I mean? And people would be here. And I won't lie, like I wanted people to be scared of me. I really did. I didn't appreciate going out there and people looking at me like I was cutesy wootsy, like all my life. All my life I've been a little cutesy wootsy, and I was like, I don't want that. I kind of want people to be a bit scared of me now. You know what I mean? I want people to feel intimidated by me. You know what I mean? And I don't mean in the way that I'm going to take a gun and put it in your face and shoot you in the head for no reason. When I say intimidation, I mean like, from a perspective like, like from an adult perspective. You know how you intimidate somebody by just being better than them at something? Like let's say we're all doing computers and I'm doing much better. You know what I mean? But again, that's just one aspect. When I'm talking about intimidation, I mean, when it comes to the game of intimidation, which I couldn't learn from any book or anything, but when it comes from the book of intimidation, I mean, there's like a million aspects and a million ways, you know what I mean, that you can intimidate people. And I was actually, and I'm not kidding you, I was intimidating big boys, man. I'm talking like even older guys, you know, like at that time I was 23, 24, and I was intimidating not just big tough guys. I was intimidating guys who were at higher positions. You know, guys who were or much further along in their life. They were in their mid 40s. They were, you know, doing business or working careers and doing very well for themselves and getting respect and all that. And I was intimidating these people. You know, so they started coming up with rumors. You know, they started saying rumors that, you know, oh, I'm the type of dude that'll bang your wife and your girlfriend. You know what I mean? So that kind of, you know what I mean? They wanted to kind of have a reason for being intimidated by me. Other than, you know, I see the guy and I'm scared of him, but, you know, I'm intimidated by him because I feel like, he might have contacts. He might fuck my girlfriend and you know, he might use his contacts to fuck me over, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was like that. Now, you know, and it happened, man. It happened. Everybody changed the way that they talked to me. Everybody that I had known in my life. All the people who had picked on me. And I'm talking, when I say pick on me, I mean even like people who are around you who are like 10 years older than you, 9 years, you know what I mean? Like way older than you. You're like a 10-year-old and they're 20, you know, and they're male or female, whatever they are, and they're picking on you, you know, and they're picking on you, they're fucking with you, knowing that you're just a small child and you probably don't even know who your parents are, and just to pick on you, just for the fun of it, you know, and even those people, like everybody was just scared, man. Everybody was so scared at that point that people were ducking me, that if I went and called an old number or talked to somebody from before, they were just like acting nice as fuck to my face. You know what I mean? Probably talking shit behind my back. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But regardless of that, like everybody that I'd ever known was intimidated by me. You know, all of a sudden, you know, I had, and female, male, whatever, people were just intimidated by me. You know what I mean? And that was really what I wanted. And I know that sounds odd, but I was listening to my inner animal. And that's what my inner animal wanted. As of today, that's not the case because I moved away from that. I was like, at one point, I was like in that time, like, and this is over a year after, a year, 2 years after. I was like a year and a half later, a year or a year and a half later. I was like, okay, dude, I don't want to do this raw intimidation shit anymore. I want to start using my mind. You know, I want to use my mind on a higher level. You know, I want to socialize on a higher level. I want to be on a higher level. I want to seek a higher level in life beyond animalistic intimidation and animalistic instincts. You know what I mean? Like I want to be a better animal or a better person. You know what I mean? I don't just want to be somebody who intimidates people. I want to be something like, you know, I want to use my mind. I want to get out there. You know what I mean? And that's when I was having New York vibes too. They call it the Big Apple for a reason, because you can start from the bottom. And if you play your cards better than everybody, you know, you will move up. You may start with intimidation and maybe robbing a bank or something, but you know, you will move up, man. And in the Big Apple, when you move up, that's when like your mind goes higher. So my mind was really like going to a higher level. You know, I was thinking different, speaking different. I was getting to a higher level. That's also when something happened, and there was a couple of friends, you know, girls that I knew when I was much younger, like when I was a little kid, you know, from school and stuff. And when we had that reconnection going on, you know, that's when my mind started switching and going like, dude, you know, I'm going to go as high as I can in this Big Apple, and I'm going to do it intelligently, you know, not making my life worse. But, you know, I gotta get to that point. I gotta get to Dubai. You know what I mean? Because I would do it for, you know, for something like that. And to some certain, you know, point, I mean, I got a little bit of success out of that, and it was good to do. You know, it enriched my life. It made me feel better. I felt good for a little while. And I'm going to get to part 2 right now.